Hello everybody, this is English Language Project in Light and I am Helen. Okay, well today I've decided to talk about a topic which is really interesting for you. So we are going to go through the TOEFL test. You know that this is international language test. It checks your knowledge of English language. So well, this is going to be a short tutorial about TOEFL. We will break down all the parts, we will answer a lot of questions, we will talk about different kinds of skills we need during this test, okay? But everything on its time. So let's go through it. Okay guys, well, the first one, I've written down some questions that I will answer you during this tutorial. So the first one, what is TOEFL? Yeah, okay, this is for the people who just heard about TOEFL. Let's say somebody says, oh, you know, if you take this test you will have the chance to get a master's degree or the bachelor's degree university which requires TOEFL, yeah, and probably it would be a university abroad, in United States, in Great Britain sometimes, in Europe, anywhere. So okay, secondly, we will talk about when we need this test, for what reasons we need it. Okay, and the next question would be, what does it consist of? We know that TOEFL test is a really complex, big, long-lasting test, and we will break down the parts of it. And the last question, how to do well on this test? Well, this is the most important question probably, but we will do it in the final part of this tutorial, so you will be a little bit more prepared. Okay, so let's get started. The first one, what is TOEFL test? So the TOEFL test is an international test that checks your level of English language. So why it is required in some universities, let's say in the most of the universities abroad? Well, because you guys are going to study in an English-speaking environment, to do the course in English language. So of course the people who are going to accept you in their university, they want you to be able to learn and to study and to understand and to do well in the university. So for that reason they want to check how well you can speak the language and how well you can use not only day-to-day English but also academic English language, which is also very important. So the TOEFL test is, I won't say this is easy, and I won't say that this is so very difficult that you will never do it. It's not true. Well, we know that it all depends on your hard work. So okay, the first question is answered, I guess. This is an international language test which checks your proficiency not only in day-to-day English but also in academic English, which you use during your studies. Okay, let's move to the second question. So when do we need it? Okay, now guys, we usually need this test when we want to study abroad, or in many countries the TOEFL test is required for students who want to do not the bachelor but already the master's degree and the PhD degree. So you might be required to take this test. Usually if you do it in your own country, if it's not United States or Great Britain, you might not be required to have a really high score, but something like 70, 60, which would be okay, 65. Yeah, so for PhD or for master's degree. But if you want to study abroad, let's say to do the bachelor degree abroad, in this case you might need a higher score, which starts from 85 up to 120, and in this case you would be a good candidate, and you would have the chance to get the scholarship, because your TOEFL score is really important. And talking about the score, let me add it here. So the score is the maximum you can get is 120. This means that you are really upper advanced level and you can cope with all kind of language aspects, be it academic language, be it day-to-day language, anything. Yes, so you are just great. And there is no minimum because you can get anything, yeah, you can get 30, 40, 50, it's okay, but let's say the medium that is good to get is 80, or let's write it from 70 to 80, yeah. So in this case it's really good. It's medium, not bad, not good, yeah. And sometimes if you don't practice enough, and maybe you don't consider your real level to be appropriate for taking the TOEFL test, you might get from 50 to 60. I wouldn't say that this is a disaster, but this is not good either. So and of course it also depends on the university that you are applying to. So if they want, for example, 60, then it's just great for you and you can get it. If the university requires at least 80, then of course you need to practice more and to succeed in this test. Yeah, so that's about the score. And every score, actually, when you get the result, every score tells you what's your level, and with this level, what is your ability, yeah? What is your proficiency in English. So okay, that's about the score. Now let's go to the third question. I want to break it down a little bit more. So what does it consist of? So guys, TOEFL test actually consists of 4 parts. The first one is the first one is reading. Then we go to listening. And then it checks your speaking skills. And it checks your writing skills. Yeah, so it consists of 4 parts. Each part lasts approximately 1 hour, and each part it has some easy parts, some difficult parts, but generally there are some skills that you will need to apply in all of these 4 sections. The skills we will break down later on. Anyway, so here we have 4 parts of this, and down there we will study what are these parts and what we need for them, what kind of tasks we will have. Yeah, so just remember that it has actually 4 parts. Each part lasts 1 hour, so that's the TOEFL test lasts 4 hours. It's really long and it's tiring, but anyway, you should be ready for that. Okay, now the question about how to do well on TOEFL. So if you want to be good, if you want to do well on TOEFL test, of course, first of all, you need to be ready. You need to know all the parts. You need to know all the skills. You need to get ready. You need to be ready for any kind of difficulties, and you should not be worried during the test. So you should not lose your mind. You should not be very much stressed and anything. This is kind of psychological thing that you need to be prepared, because every test is a stress, and especially tests like this is a big stress, and you know that a lot of things depend on these tests, so you just feel like you forget everything you know and stuff. That might happen, but with the right determination, with the right motivation, you will do okay. But first of all, the first key for this, if you want to do well on your test, first of all, you should have the right skills. TOEFL test is a kind of test that is based on skills. If you figure out the skills, if you figure out how to do it effectively and really fast and really correct, then you will succeed. Yeah. So secondly, to have the appropriate level. So to have the appropriate level, which means if you are a strong elementary student, or even if you are a weak intermediate student, TOEFL is not for you yet. Please remember it. In my practice, I had a lot of students who are like so intermediate, and they want me to teach them TOEFL in 2 months, and they want to do really well, and they tell me, okay, give me like 10,000 words, I will study in 2 months, and teach me all the skills, and I will do it. No, you will not be able to do the TOEFL in 2 months, first of all, if you are not at least in upper intermediate level. If you are just an intermediate, or I'm not talking about elementary, because elementary is just a sad thing. If an elementary student wants to do TOEFL, then he needs to practice at least 6-7 months for this, to at least get 70 or 80, yeah, because it's really hard. So please have the appropriate level for this test, and don't have fake hopes. Don't lie to yourself that you can do it in 2 months. So please mind it, and this is really important. Okay. What else? Of course, in the skills, I can also include the vocabulary skills. This is very important, because you are not doing everyday English only. You are doing also academic English, which is used in science. And in TOEFL test, you can have reading, listening passages about any kind of science things, yeah, scientific things. So you can listen about astrology, biology, chemistry, anything, and you will have to have some knowledge, you have to know some terms and some words that are going to help you to understand the meaning of this test. Of course, nobody says to understand 100% of it, but at least you should, make it out. You should understand the important parts. Yeah, so in this case, vocabulary is also really important. And it is also, oh my god, what is wrong? Okay, so it is also very important to have the right motivation. Please motivate yourself. Don't be lazy, because TOEFL test requires a lot of hard work, so you should not give away to your laziness, or you say, oh, this is so hard, I cannot do it, I better go and, I don't know, study in some university which doesn't require me to take the TOEFL, and even though it will not bring me so much pleasure, and it would not give me so much opportunities like if I would do something in another country or stuff like that. So please have the right motivation. Always remember, why do you want it, and what is your goal. And in this case, nothing will stop you. Yeah. So that kind of a motivation, and it is really great, because after you do it, you feel like, yes, I did it. I was able to do it. I was strong enough and smart enough, and now I also accomplished this goal, and I can do even better. So a little bit of motivation from me to you guys. Okay, so we broke down 4 questions, like what is TOEFL? We know it is a test that checks your ability of using and speaking and listening and writing in English, not only day-to-day but also academic English. Okay, so when do we need it? We need it for taking the master's or PhD degree in your own country, and going abroad and doing a degree abroad. You might be required to take this test. And what does it consist of? It has 4 parts: reading, listening, speaking, writing. And how to do well, I stated 4 key points. You should have the right skills, you should have the appropriate level, and you should have the right vocabulary, and also you should have the right motivation. In this case, you will be successful. Okay, so guys, now let's go to the other part, to the next part of today's tutorial. I want to break down the 4 parts of TOEFL test. So we have TOEFL IBT. Remember, the IBT test is internet-based test, which means all you do it on the computer. You don't write anything on any kind of paper which you are going to give with your test. Yeah, anything you do is just your notes. You just later on you keep them to yourself, or you just throw them away. The IBT test is only about doing everything on the computer. We also have the PBT test, like paper-based test, which is not popular nowadays. It's like a little bit old-fashioned already, so hardly anyone ever does it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the TOEFL IBT. As I told you, it consists of 4 parts: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Now let's see. The reading part might last from 60 to 100 minutes. We know that in TOEFL test, one of the sections in reading or listening is longer than others. So if you get the long section on reading, then you will have 100 minutes. If you have long section on listening, you will have 90 minutes of listening. In other cases, in speaking and writing, for speaking you have only 20 minutes, and for writing you have only 50 minutes. Okay, now let's see, reading and listening. So if you have a short reading part, yeah, then you will have only 60 minutes, and if you have 60 minutes, you will have 3 reading passages. So you will have 3 reading passages in case you have 60 minutes. In case you have 100 minutes, you will have 5 reading passages. That means you have your long section, the reading one. And if you have the long section in listening, instead of listening to 2 conversations and answer 5 questions on each conversation, you will listen to 3 conversations and you will answer again on 5 questions on each conversation. This is the first part of listening section. After that, you will listen to 4 or 6 lectures and you will answer 6 questions on each lecture. In reading, after reading the passages, you will answer questions on each passage. It can be 12 questions or 14 questions. So basically, if you have a reading passage, the short one, like you have 3 reading passages, 12 questions from each, you will have 36 questions from each. If you have 5 passages and you will have 12 or 14 questions, that means you might answer 60 questions in general, yeah, in all of it together, if you have the long one. If the short one is just 36 questions. And always remember that only 3 read passages are counted in final score. So even though you will have 5 reading passages, the 2 passages you answered will not be counted. So you will only have the answers from 3 passages, which means you never know. It's a little bit about luck also, but anyway, you should answer all of the questions, and in this case you will just do fine. Okay. Now if you go to the listening section, 4 or 6 lectures and 2 or 3 conversations. The conversations are mostly like the campus situation and stuff, and the lectures are mostly about science. So here you should polish your listening skills and some other skills that you need to succeed in this part too. In reading, there are also some skills like identifying the important information, taking notes, also identifying the type of a passage. So about the skills, I will have another tutorial, because yeah guys, so skills is a long story, and we really need to do a long tutorial about the skills for TOEFL, and I think I will do for each part a separate tutorial. Like, let's say for reading there will be another one, for listening another one. Okay, anyway, let's go to the speaking. So in speaking you will have 20 minutes, and you will first task is going to be to speak about a familiar experience. Here you will have 2 independent tasks. So here you can have a question like, what is let's say, what is the best place you have traveled? Why it is the best one? Please bring reasons and examples to support your answer. So the speaking part might be really difficult. Why? Because here you have a very short timing, so you have to prepare your answer in 15 seconds and you have only 45 seconds to record your answer. So your answer should be full, completed, without any mistakes. Yeah, you should use really good English. You should complete your answer, have a start, have the body, like reasons, examples, and have the conclusion. So it might be really difficult to do if you haven't practiced beforehand. Okay, now in the second part of speaking test, you might have summarized a reading or a listening passage. So you have two sources, reading and listening. You read and listen, and then you summarize it and you speak. It's like kind of like a report. So you will have 4 integrated tasks. In this case, you will have to do 4 different tasks and report, paraphrase, and so on. Here the best skill is to be able to paraphrase, to identify the important information, and to use really good English with a good vocabulary and construction. Okay, now if we go to the writing part, writing part lasts 50 minutes. This is my favorite because I love writing, but for some people it is really annoying because they lack the ideas, and this also should be practiced and trained to express your ideas about any kind of topic. There can be a topic you have never heard about, like you have never thought about environment, for example, and suddenly they tell you how to make the environment greener, how to save the environment and stuff like that. So you have to really have good ideas, good thoughts, and express it all in good English and in a correct essay form, which is also an important skill here. So first one would be one integrated task. They will give you one topic, yeah, so the question, and you will have 20 minutes to write. Don't take longer than 20 minutes because the second topic is harder, because the second topic is an independent task. So here is just your ideas. In the first case, you have some source. You have some kind of source, and from this source you have to do kind of report, maybe express your opinion and stuff. But in the second one, it's just independent task. They give you the topic for essay, and you will have only 30 minutes to write and to check. Be careful for spelling. Because it's not the Microsoft Word document and nobody is checking your spelling there. So if you make mistakes, you will not see them, and the guys who are checking your test will see it, and this will lower your score for sure. Okay, so more or less we broke down the 4 parts, the 4 from which the TOEFL IBT consists. So reading, listening, speaking, writing. Remember that one of these sections, one of reading or listening sections, might be long. On my TOEFL test, I had listening section very long, and I find it really tiring. So in the end, my ears were really tired, and I couldn't concentrate till the end. Yeah, because you get really tired, especially if you do it after reading. It's just blowing your mind, too much information. But anyway, even though if you get reading passage as a long one, I don't know how is it, but I think it's also kind of difficult. Yeah guys, I will not hide, the TOEFL test is really difficult, so you got to prepare really well. For speaking and writing, those are not so difficult and not so tiring, but this will make you use your language, use your English free, like, and record yourself. And here is the time for you to speak, and in writing it is the time for you to think and give the shape to your thoughts, and do it in a really good way, in a professional and smart way. So yeah, and because I cannot let you go without any task I want to know how well you can do it. So I will give you one topic for writing. I know I haven't explained you any tasks for writing, I haven't told you how to do it, but you can just try to write an essay on this topic, yeah? So the question would be, some people like to travel with a companion. Other people prefer to travel alone. Which do you prefer? Use specific reasons and examples to support your choice. Okay, I will wait for your essays in the comment section. You can send me the links, or you can send your essays to this email, elp@inlight.com. So you can send your essays to this email. We will check them, and in the title of in the topic of your message, please write TOEFL essay. Then I will understand that this is you guys sending me your essays, that I will check. I promise to check almost all of your essays if it is possible, and I promise to send some kind of feedback. So let's see, just try it, try yourself, yeah? So try and see how well you can do it, and maybe you will realize that you are not so bad and it is time for you to start to prepare for TOEFL. And yeah, why not, guys? Okay, so here is the topic. Write your essays, send it to me. I will be glad to receive them and to check them. I hope you liked the tutorial. I hope it was useful for you. Now you know a little bit more about the TOEFL test. And also I have one suggestion. You can write in the comment section below the video, write the topics that you would like me to go through, okay? So if you guys having difficulties, for example, using the gerund, if you have difficulties using the past perfect continuous, for example, so just write it, and I will choose one of the topics and I will prepare the next tutorial, and it will be more interesting for you, and I will know that I'm doing a useful thing. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for your attention. I hope you liked it. I hope you will subscribe and follow us, and you will get more videos and more useful information about English language. So I wish you all have a good day, good evening, good week, and see you all next time. Bye bye everyone.